What's up, people? What's up? What's up? Welcome back to the very last episode. Last normal, let me say it like that. The last normal episode of the Gem Finder series. We're on episode 29. You guys do know every 30 episodes we do wrap it up. That's our season span. And we're on episode 29, meaning this is our very last one, which is absolutely insane. It's absolutely crazy to think how far we've come. It's been crazy. Okay, so what we're going to be doing today, we're just going to be running this thing like normal. So we're starting off with our sponsor of the day, Altura NFT. We're going to be going over them, checking them out, seeing what all they want. Of course, they came check us out. They messaged me. They wanted to sponsor the stream. So here they are. We're going to check them out. We'll see what we think about them. Then we have Gorilla Diamond update, as you can see on your screen. So what we're going to be doing with Gorilla Diamond today, the reason in which we are going to be doing an update on them is they were one of the very first ones to actually be on the ranking system. They were the first #1 spot that we actually did have. That was over a month ago. That was June 15th. It's now July 16th. So what we're going to do, we're going to go back to them. They have a new website. They have a lot of new news, and we are going to rank them because going into tomorrow's finale, I want to make sure that all our rankings are in order and we have updated information. Like Pink Panda, we had our AMA, Meta Hero, and all of them ones we just recently talked to them, so not much has changed, but Gorilla Diamond has had a lot of changes since then, so we're going to go over that. And then last but not least, we are going to be taking a look at a crypto named Leona coin. It's one that I've been seeing a lot on Twitter recently, and then if we do have time, we are going to be checking out a new crypto, again, something that could potentially jump into the top 5 before tomorrow. Leona coin showed some of the most love on the Twitter post that I didn't make. Of course, you guys do know that I pick I almost said the stocks, the cryptos that we look at on the stream, either from this chat or from the Twitter. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be checking them out, and if we have time, we'll go over another one from the chat if that is the case. So just a little update, some information, guys, as we do go into our finale tomorrow. It's less than 24 hours. It's crazy. This is our current lineup. So our current lineup is looking at Meta Hero Peacock Coin, Fusion Chain Gorilla Diamond Token, and Pink Panda Finance. Now, I was pointing that way. One thing that I will say is that these two are actually tied, but I realized when I went and rewatched the stream that this one was actually an 87.8 and Pink Panda was an 87. And so that actually does put Gorilla Diamond in 4th place and then Pink Panda in 5th place, just so you can kind of see an updated ranking, which of course did knock Bank Social out of the top 5. Now, currently tomorrow, I hope you guys are excited. I'm going to give you a little sneak peek. I hope I have everything set up. Okay, there we go. This is the current lineup for the finale tomorrow, everyone. This is tomorrow's finale, okay? So we're going to be having Gorilla Diamond and Peacock Coin going head-to-head to see who is going to be progressing into the semifinals, or the semifinals. Then we're going to have Fusion Chain and Pink Panda going head-to-head to see who will progress to the semifinals. We will then have our semifinals between the two winners, and then they will then compete to go against whoever wins that one is then going to compete against our #1 holder in Meta Hero. I hope you guys are very excited, as I surely am. And then we will be declaring our winner, our king or our queen of the Gem Finder series. So again, I hope you all are just as excited as I am. So with that, let's go ahead. I'm gonna pull up the chat. I'm gonna see who all is in here, and then we're gonna go ahead and get this thing on going. So shout out to Big Belly saying Pink Panda. We have Francis Nicer saying Leo's Army. So I guess he's talking about Leona Corn, which is one we're gonna probably check out later. Bobby Green Thumb. We have Crypto Jared. Price K, Ascended, Matt Patinaude. I'm not 100% sure. I'm sure I murdered that. I'm sorry about that. We got Tom Newport. We got Mr. Anonymous. Okay. So shout out to you all of you who are in the stream watching it right now. We have 50 people in here within the first few minutes. That's fantastic. If you can smash that like button, that would be absolutely appreciated. And with that, guys, let's go ahead and let's jump forward. Let's go forward into our very first one of the day, which again is going to be Altura NFT. Now, one thing that I do with these sponsors is that I look for ones that are going to be unique, the ones that are going to be different. You know, I think that's important because I do get, messages from different sponsors, and some of them are very similar to ones we've checked out before. But one thing you can notice, if you do go over all of our sponsors, I just pick out ones that are different, ones that we haven't really talked about before, or that come with something unique, because I just rather it be that way. Okay. And so they actually offer something that I'm interested in which would made it stand out for me. And I'm excited to see where the future does go with this one. So one thing about Altura NFT is the NFT part, of course. You guys know I've been big in NFTs recently. I think Q3 and Q4 are going to be huge for NFTs, just personally speaking. I think that so many major platforms and cryptos are going to be releasing their NFT marketplaces that I think it is probably going to, really boost up the price of a lot of NFTs. Now, if it's going to have a major effect, I'm still not 100% sure, but I think that it is going to still be pretty big for the NFT market itself, okay? And so we're going to be going over this one. They actually offer something that combines NFT and gaming, and you guys know I'm big into both of those, so I'm like, let's see kind of of see how this thing works. So, Altura is a smart contract platform that allows games developers to mint, distribute, and transact smart NFTs representing in-game items. Smart NFTs are NFTs with dynamic properties that can change based on certain conditions, which is actually pretty interesting. And we'll go and, we'll kind of explain what that means now. So, in-game items are a big part of any video game and allow gamers to own digital assets, which is true. I mean, think like if you're playing, I guess, CSGO and you have like kind of skins and knives and things like that. However, in-game items are centralized, not easily exchangeable, and challenging to implement. Altura is a smart contract platform that allows game developers to mint, distribute, and transact smart NFTs representing in-game items. Smart NFTs are NFTs with dynamic properties that can change based on certain conditions. Smart NFTs are the next step to making decentralized in-game items mainstream and offer a massive range to potential opportunities that are not possible within traditional NFTs. We want to create an easy-to-use interface and API for creating smart NFTs, an open marketplace for transacting NFTs using the Altura token, and we want to introduce truly random smart loot boxes to the blockchain, which is pretty interesting. So, what's the problem? How are they going to be implementing this? It's kind of like taking decentralization and the idea of blockchain itself and implementing it within gaming, which is pretty cool. So gamers don't truly own their items and don't have the freedom to send, receive, and trade these items due to complete centralization and control of in-game items by developers. In-game items can be manipulated, deleted, or outright shut down by game developers, which keeps games from truly feeling like they own their own items, which is true. Like, if CSGO just said, you know what, we're canceling your whole account, they realistically could do that. Or if you play like Fortnite still, and they have all the skins or everything like that, if they wanted to just close your account or just take them, they easily could, and there's really not much you can do about it, hence why they say it's centralized. Okay, so another thing is that off of that, especially if you are in the CSGO scene, you know that there are things like shady marketplaces that come around, which are like bad because there's a lot of scams that go along with them. Okay, so, since many video games do not allow items to be traded, shady high-fee marketplaces are created, and sometimes entire accounts must be traded to transfer ownership of an in-game item from one person to another. Now, there's also difficulty in developing a virtual economy. There's hardship that is there, and it's part of the reason why we have not really seen it. Many small indie games want to provide their users with the ability to buy, sell, and trade in-game items. However, building an entire inventory and marketplace system is confusing, time-consuming, and difficult. Okay, so they offer the solution. Cryptocurrency provides us an opportunity to give gamers true ownership over their digital items and collectibles in a way to produce truly scarce digital collectibles. This gives in-game items true intrinsic value, gives gamers a real monetary incentive to acquire in-game items, and gives game developers plenty of opportunities to earn more revenue from their products. Altura wants to provide an easy-to-use solution for minting NFTs, non-fungible tokens, to represent in-game items, and we also want to provide smart NFTs. Now, this is what I'm the most excited about. Smart NFTs are kind of like the biggest appeal from their project in itself, and they're not the first ones to do smart NFTs, but I've not seen that many that are going to implement them within the gaming system, environment as well, and that's something I'm pretty interested in. So, smart NFTs, they're NFTs with dynamic properties, again, that can be changed on time-based conditions, function call-based conditions, or real-world conditions. They offer a new world of potential for NFTs. This is an idea that has yet to be effectively implemented into an easy-to-use manner. So what are they going to be making? Well, Altura will provide an easy-to-use interface to mint smart NFTs as well as an API to develop to mint NFTs. These NFTs, along with their metadata, will reside on the blockchain as a BEP 721 smart contract. So meaning you can take the items in which you own in-game and then create or mint them into NFTs that can then be changed. So say, for example, if you get a sword in a game and, you can have these upgrades and there's all these customizations and things you can do like with that on that sword. As it does upgrade, those said conditions can then upgrade with that NFT. So if you wanted to then sell that sword, you can sell it as an NFT, and it is going to be up to date with that, that item or that replica in which you do have in the game. Therefore, you can start to understand the idea in terms of, okay, we are going to sell this thing that is changing consistently from one person to another in a decentralized manner. That is kind of the approach in which they're taking. So unlike traditional NFT marketplaces like OpenSea or Rarible, the logo or image is not the NFT itself. Instead, the NFT is the actual in-game item represented by a developer within a game. The look, feel, and the game developers entirely determine the functionality of this item. However, the underlying item itself cannot be fundamentally changed. Now, the item name appears in a wallet marketplace. The description appears in a product page. Collections are unique, meaning there can't be two of the same collections, and they're used to group the NFTs. And then the game property is used to identify NFTs by the game they originate from. An NFT created by a non-game developer does not belong to any game and does not require game property. So as you can see here, it's actually going to be really interesting in the way they implement it, and I think that there are going to be hardships. I think that this is not the easiest thing to do. I mean, they even say it up here that, let's see, there's difficulty in developing a virtual economy. But from what I can tell is they've really put a lot of thought into this. And I'm quite curious to see going forward if they are actually able to execute this, because it's not something that I have seen a ton. You know what I mean? Now, there's a few more things. So, time-based. Dynamic properties can be set to change when a specific date and time are reached, or every specified time interval. For instance, a Pokemon NFT may have a property representing an evolution, and that property may be programmed to increment by 1 every 20 days until a specific value is reached. So that's going to kind of, be the implementation in which they'll have to add to see those changes in which they're trying to make. All right. So, then another thing in which they're going to be adding that is actually pretty cool, and I think everyone really loves it, especially if you're playing some of these smaller games, or even if you're playing something like maybe Apex Legends, for example. Loot boxes. I mean, we all love loot boxes, right? Loot boxes are an excellent source of revenue for many game developers. Their functionality gives a player a chance to unlock a random in-game item from a predetermined set of in-game items. Each item has a certain probability of being dropped. Loot boxes are NFTs as well and can be traded. A loot box has the following properties: a name, an icon, and description, and a list of potential item droppings with a percentage of each item being dropped. So if you see like there's something, there's an item within this loot box that you may want to have, that you think would really advance your gamer, you can then purchase it from someone directly, and then you can see the percentage, chance of something dropping or something of that nature. Now, NFT blueprints are not tradable. Valueless NFT skeletons that can be created as a blueprint for creating NFTs. A blueprint will have a name, icon, description, collection, game, and empty, static, or dynamic properties. These properties can be filled in when the NFT is about to be minted. NFT blueprints are used to create loot boxes. The blueprints are created first, and then a loot box is created, and the blueprints are provided along with the chance of getting each item. When a loot box is unlocked, a blueprint will be selected, and the properties will be filled on the spot by the script running in the loot box, which will result in the creation of an NFT. The loot box will then be burned. These properties, both static and dynamic, can be filled in based on RNG or predetermined rules provided in the script that is supplied with the loot box. So one thing I do like about this one is that they are going to they're going into depth about exactly how they are going to, go about the technical side, right? They're not just saying there's going to be loot boxes that you can buy that'll tell you how many things are in it with what percentage chance that you'll get it. No, they're actually going into depth about not only what it is, but how it works and how the functionality and practicality of it will come into effect once it's actually live. And I actually like that, because I think a lot of people do want to know, well, if you just said doing something like this is hard, well, how do you plan on going about actually executing on it? And it's actually pretty exciting. That's pretty cool, and I do like that. So, Altura will provide a native marketplace for transacting NFTs created through Altura, of course. The marketplace will allow anyone to list their NFTs for any price or sell them through an auction. The marketplace will be open for anyone to list an NFT. However, users will be given the option to view only NFTs created by verified game developers. Since the Altura marketplace is an open marketplace, we want to make it easy in-game developers to have their items separately categorized from the masses. Game devs will be verified through a manual verification system conducted by the Altura team. Verified games items will be separated from the masses to provide a noise-free marketplace for legitimate projects. Then, the verified games items listed by individuals will also belong with the noise-free market. The lister does not matter in this case, just the item. All transactions conducted on the Altura marketplace will be settled in the Altura native token. So, of course, that's where you can then see how there's going to be some type of circulation, and that'll help with volume and things like that. Because when you do have these newer cryptos, you want to see that they actually have some type of circulation or utility, in a sense, of why would they be used in order to keep that price up, of course. Now, additionally, loot boxes may be sold on the market. So, APIs and SDKs are essential to interacting with Altura NFT infrastructure. We want to create the tools for developers to mint, access, and transact NFTs within their video games on the fly. So that is going to be an important factor in terms of, okay, how are we going to do this and make it convenient, right? Because sure, they need to put out this marketplace, and they need to actually create this, virtual marketplace or ecosystem, but making it easy to use and making it convenient is, as they do say, is essential to interacting with the infrastructure. And so I'm very, excited as well to see how that is going to go. So the token itself, the Altura token, is the native currency of the Altura digital asset marketplace, and it is used to buy and sell NFTs on the market. Additionally, game developers will receive item transaction commissions in Altura. The currency used to pay for transaction fees on the Altura marketplace is still unknown. So as you can see there, not only is it going to create circulation, and Altura is going to be used to settle some of these different purchases, but they are also going to be game developers will receive item transaction commissions in Altura as well. And so that'll be another method in which we just do see that inflow and that outflow of the token itself. So they are only going to be making money from the marketplace. NFTs created through Altura do not provide us with any form of revenue unless they are transacted in our marketplace. However, third-party marketplaces may open to transact Altura smart NFTs and will be unable to profit from transactions done on third-party platforms. So that kind of goes to show that the transactions on the transactional fees on that won't be too high, and I think that will somewhat incentivize third parties to come in and also make those transactions. And so I'm curious to see what the overall demand would be in that, in that scenario as well. But I do think that would be beneficial and more appealing to some of those third parties. A system for, let's see, where are we at? Okay, here we go. Every time an NFT is transacted on the Altura marketplace, we will take a small fee from the payment, and a small fee is good. We'll see what that is in a second. Additionally, game developers will also take their cut when an item is transacted on the Altura marketplace, as you would expect. I mean, that's pretty normal. That's what we see pretty much all the time. And then lastly, a system for preventing third-party marketplaces from opening is currently not in place, but we actively think of and work on a solution to this problem, and so we'll probably get some type of update on that pretty soon. So last but not least, game developers can make money through their NFT in 3 ways. They can sell their in-game items, they can sell loot boxes, which may have an infinite supply, and provide a way for in-game items to enter into the marketplace without the game developers directly selling these items. This allows items to develop an entire economy. So there's multiple reasons in transactional, just reasons for these transactions to happen that, again, it all goes back to one idea of increasing just the supply and circulation, the circulation of the supply of Altura, okay? Additionally, when a developer mints an NFT or NFT blueprint, they can specify how much of a fee they receive every time the item is transacted on the Altura marketplace. This makes it such that every time an item is bought, sold on the open marketplace, the game developer takes a cut. This provides an everlasting form of passive income for the developer. And so also, you can see there that it also provides utility in terms of if you're a game developer, you can actually make money through this process, and that further incentivizes people to want to be on this marketplace because it could be some type of revenue source for them, as well as we do see another appeal as to why people would want to use the token. And so overall, we can see here that their founders are doxed, and we can't see them. Their links are going to be on the website, which we'll check out in a little while, but we see the founder, lead developer, co-founder, and there are actually some more on the website itself. Now, in terms of the tokenomics, I would say that there are the good and there are the things that I'm not necessarily the most, the biggest of a fan of. I'm not going to lie. And you guys know, even though it is a sponsorship, I'm going to still give my constructive criticism. I'm just going to be honest. It's something I've been doing and it's something I'm going to continue doing. And so one thing I will say is I do actually like this supply, 1,000 million billion. 1 billion it's not too much and it's not too little. It's somewhere right in the middle, especially in comparison to the ones with, 100 quadrillion or 500 quadrillion or things like that. It's just a little bit much. And I think that the practicality and functionality of the ones with such a major amount, in the hundreds of quadrillions, I just kind of think that it does somewhat limit them in the future. So I would say that the 1 billion is definitely good. The only thing that I'm remotely concerned about in terms of, the tokenomics of this entire crypto is the token distribution, because you guys do know that I think 15% roughly is, about the most that I'm okay with seeing that a company or the team themselves having access to. But as we can see here, they do reserve a pretty big amount. I mean, we got 10% for marketing, 10% for the team, 10% for marketing, 15% operation and dev, and then 10% reserve and advisory. And so with that, I do believe that as, we see more and more and more of a percentage being held by the team, that does increase the risk. And so with this one, if you, of course, I'm not telling you what to do. Don't buy it, do as you please. But what I'm saying with this one is that if you were to want to buy it, what I would say is that make sure that there is full transparency with all of these wallets, because I do understand that some projects need more funds, and I do understand that some projects need to pay their devs, and I understand needing to have a good bit of the total supply. I understand that. But once you pass that 15% mark, it starts to get kind of dangerous for the price itself in terms of if something was to happen, like I'm not saying it's a rug pull, but if a rug pull was to happen, then there's increased possibility of that the more in which they own. And so the more in which they own, the more cautious and wary and, attention you need to pay to that project to make sure that the money that's going in and out, or the tokens that's going in and out of these wallets, is going where they say it's going, and that no fishy business is going on. And so one thing I will say that definitely does help with that, though, is that they have put locks on a few of these. But what I would say personally, just my own criticism, for the tokenomics themselves, is I would like to see that some of these lock periods definitely increase past 3 months or just a month. Personally, I think like if the team is really confident in the token, they could, I've seen people lock their team tokens for a year or 2 years because they're truly confident in it. And I would say that now that they've actually launched this thing and they're actually having some progress and some success, I would just personally like to see that those locks extend out, and then there'd be the implementation of some type of drip function to make sure that not all of that total supply, maybe 10% or 15% or something like that, can be can be pulled immediately, because that's the risk. As you do increase the amount that the team owns, the risk there becomes, okay, well, how much can they sell at once that will be detrimental to the price, right? And so that's definitely the one thing about the project that I noticed that I wasn't the biggest fan of, and I don't think it necessarily takes away from everything and what, else that they have, but I do believe that it provides you need to kind of see that transparency there. That transparency is going to be what's very, very important. So going forward, just kind of some of the different things. Let's actually jump back out here, and I believe that they do have their roadmap right over here. We can see that they are just going to be, they're really just getting started. This thing is actually still pretty new. So the launch, so they went through their launch, their IDO, token listings, launch of MVP, and more. And then coming soon, we're going to see the iterative MVP, research and development, team expansion, further marketing. And then they do have plans for the next about a year, roughly. We can see that they're going to be launching full-fledged smart NFTs, which I'm excited about. That's towards the end of this year, beginning of next year. And I think that's going to be really important, as well as the introduction of Oracle-based loot boxes, further research and development, and strategizing a market and adoption plan. So I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited about this. I'm curious to see how smart NFTs are going to do, because I think with NFTs, I'm so interested in them that having NFTs that can change based off of conditional statements provides an even bigger range of possibility. And so I'm definitely curious to see how those do. So with that being said, guys, that is going to be about it for Altura NFT for at the moment. If you do want some of the links and if you want to go check it out even more in depth, of course, you can go ahead and you can go to Alturanft.com and go check it out. Again, I'm not saying to buy it. I'm not saying not to buy it. I've never done that on this channel before, and I'm not going to start doing it now. But I definitely just want to provide a way for you guys to be able to do your own research, but just give you kind of a starting point, and so you get an idea whether you like it or not, and you can decide if you want to continue on with your own research. But with that being said, that is going to be that one. We are going to go ahead and we are going to jump into Gorilla Diamond's update in 1 second here. So let's go ahead. Let's jump into the chat and let's see what all we have going on. So quick shout out to the boy Scott Crowley. What's up, man? Hey, been a minute, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Are you getting ready for that fight September 11th? So the fight is actually not on. I'm still having some issues with my knee. I'm not 100% sure what it is. I had surgery a few months ago, and there's still just some weird things going on. So I actually have an MRI pretty soon, and then once I get that MRI back, and once I know whether once I know where I stand, literally stand, but where I stand in terms of if I can fight or not, then I'll decide when the next fight is. And then next up we have Lifestyle Freedom with a $5 donation with the cool little gift here. So shout out to you. I really do appreciate it, homie. Just joining, Tyler. Check your email when you get a chance. Sent you something. All right, sounds good. Shout out to everyone who's joined in. What we got in here? We got KDNZ Store. We got Jay Jones, Dr. Wingless. We got Kamari, SS, Brian. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to everyone who joined in. Alrighty. All right, let's go ahead and let's get into the very next one. So as we did see, we went over Altura NFT. Now let's go ahead. Let's jump into Gorilla Diamond and let's see what they have going on, because it's a lot. Okay, they've made some absolutely fantastic steps. Okay, so just a little reminder. We're actually going to give them a new ranking today. When I did their very first ranking, I gave them a ranking out of 70, and it was based on a few things, but there was a lacking of the option for progress, which is the reason why it's out of 80 now. And so as the ranking system has kind of changed a bit, I do want to give them a new ranking. One thing we can see is if I do go ahead and just mute that, we can see that their website was back in its original. The original website, which was kind of unclear. I'm not going to lie. Like, they didn't really make it super easy to understand what the purpose of the project was, and I didn't really see its potential until I talked to the devs, because once they explained it to me, I really saw the potential. Okay, now I actually will say I'm actually an ambassador for this one. After we did talk about them, after we brought them on, about 2 weeks later they reached out to me. I looked into the project even further, and I was like, you know what, like I would definitely love to be just on the team, just in terms of being able to represent kind of in a way here. So Gorilla Diamond, and I did want to make sure I would never bring on a crypto that I was already an ambassador for, because I think there is kind of like that bias. And so that's why I was okay with it, because we had already given them their ranking. You know what I mean? So let's kind of talk about this, because they have made some massive steps. Okay, massive steps. So overall, one thing we can see immediately is that the website is so much more visually appealing. It's so much more visually appealing. It's so much more immersive, and you can really interact with it, engage with it, and all of those things definitely help out a lot. I'm a big fan of that. We can see clearly who the leadership team is. We see in the news. We can see just how immersive their roadmap is, which is so much better. I absolutely love this, and that was a big thing that I did notice. Just in a few weeks they got this new website launched, and overall I think that it was just it was a great step. It was just an overall fantastic step. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about what all they have been having going on, because they have made some great steps. So just for a quick reminder, I'll tell you guys what Gorilla Diamond is, what they're going to be focusing on, and then I'll talk about some updates in which they have, and then we will give them our a new ranking, right? So it says here, why Gorilla Diamond? Holders earn reflection rewards from our entire ecosystem. Gorilla Diamond Inc. is a portfolio of products and services designed to incentivize investors to hold long term. Investors earn 6% rewards for holding GDT and additional transaction reflections that occur within the Gorilla Diamond ecosystem, meaning that on each of one of these different aspects of the ecosystem in which they're creating, such as rising tokens, Swiftly Swap, Diamond Wallet, and they do have more coming out. They are going to be taking a certain portion of that transactional revenue from there and then also distributing it out to holders. So you actually are like a shareholder in a way, like you hold a piece of the business itself, which I absolutely love. And it's super creative because it's not something that we saw very much, especially when we reviewed them for the first time. They were amongst one of the first ones to do that in this new age of cryptos. So the first one that we have is actually going to be one that has had its soft launch already and is coming out very, very soon. And this is going to be Rising Tokens. It is a Rising Tokens is a popularity and price tracking tool for crypto projects. Its mission is to make it easy for crypto projects to be discoverable and empower investors with accurate, unbiased information. And now I like this one so much because it's kind of my approach that I've taken with this series. I was like, okay, I want to shine the light on some of these new cryptos. And, you know, you always go to comment sections and you just see people shilling and shilling and shilling. And you constantly see people constantly just putting the same names and the same cryptos. I was like, you know what? I want to make a series in which all of those people can come to our series and just tell us, okay, stop going to all the comment sections and just spamming them up. Let us know in the chat, what is the cryptos that you like? And then we're going to put it on center stage. We're going to shine the light on it and say, is it good? Is it not? If it is, what's the ranking? And so that's kind of the approach I've taken. And it's a similar approach in which they're taking for Rising Tokens that will actually be coming out very soon here. Again, it had its soft launch. They're just working out some bugs and things like that, which I'm very excited about. So that's going to be number one. The second one is going to be Swiftly Swap. It is a multi-coin instant exchange solution, letting you swap tokens securely and without an exchange, which just it helps with the overall, how do you explain it? Just the overall convenience and just the ecosystem itself. It's just another great aspect. Swaps are one thing, you know, things we've seen pretty often, but overall, I do believe it's an important thing to add, especially if you have a token. I think that if you do own your own token, the ability to be able to swap that for other tokens or other tokens for that token is a very convenient and important thing to have. Now, the next thing they're going to be implementing is the Diamond Wallet. This supports our GDT and other cryptocurrencies. The Diamond Wallet integrates into our entire Gorilla Diamond ecosystem and supports our tokenomics. One of the unique features is the ability to track your reflection rewards from each of our products and services. So as I did say, as I did say, all of these different transactions that are going to be happening amongst maybe the Swiftly Swap, if they're receiving some transactions from that, Rising Tokens using that platform, the service market, which they're going to have, which is going to be probably huge. All of those different ones, they're going to continuously be having transactions as people do use them. And then you can track the reflections in which you will receive directly on their wallet, you know, every single time. And that's one thing I do like, and it shows you also where it came from. Because one thing that I've seen, like, you know, if you have say something like Bitmart, right? And I'm not 100% sure if it's still this way, but, you know, there are many different exchanges, and there's definitely a whole bunch of different wallets in which you can own, in which you get these reflections, and it may be like every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks or every month that you get the update. And you never really know where it came from, and you don't know like how many transactions there were, or, you know, reflections you did receive on this day or that day. And I like the fact that they do break it down, or they're going to break it down even further and say like, okay, this is the amount of transactions you receive, or reflection you receive from this transaction, from this part of the platform, this part of the platform, this part of the platform. And it shows you what's working, what's not working. And I think that is going to help them expand in the future, because they can really gauge like, okay, you know, our service market is doing pretty well, but this month our holders weren't really getting any reflections that much from the Rising Tokens aspect. And, you know, things like that I think are very, very important. And it's even further transparency, because there's not really many companies or projects that are just going to so blatantly say, like, this is the amount of money we made from this part of our platform. There's not many that would really do that. And so that's another thing that I do like about them, that it's very transparent, and transparency is one of the things in which I think they're slowly becoming masters of, in terms of making sure people know exactly where they are, what they're doing, and all of that. And the Diamond Service Market is kind of like the staple. It's like the big shebang, right? So the Diamond Service Market will revolutionize peer-to-peer service exchange category. This project is currently under development, scheduled to launch in late 2021. And this one is a little bit more secret secretive because they do have some good ideas and they have things in which they don't necessarily want people to copy. And so we'll get more information on this one towards the end of 2021. But one thing that I must say is that they are very, very excited about the diamond service market. Peer-to-peer service exchanges are ones that we are seeing a lot of people planning to release in like in Q2 of 2022 or Q1 of 2022, or even Q3 is one I've seen. And the fact that they're trying to release that before the end of the year, I think will put them amongst the top or the quickest companies and projects that have released a peer-to-peer services market. And I think since that is the case, that should bring in some transactions. And of course, as if you are a holder, the transactional volume that will increase when this does release, in my opinion, will dish out reflections. And then that's pretty much good for everyone, right? And so that's something I'm very, very, very excited about, because they have made some absolutely fantastic progress. Also, since we did do our very first video on them, they have brought on a CTO, Ben G. So big shout out to him. He's done absolutely some phenomenal things so far. And I do love the fact that they are still working on expanding as much as they are. So coming up into Q3, one thing in which we can expect from July to September is that they're going to continue to expand the team, as we have seen, release revamped Gorilla Diamond website. They've already done that. Finish developing all of Swiftly Swap, Rising tokens, and the Diamond Wallet. They plan on having all of this released within the next 3 months, and they have not failed to meet a milestone or a time yet. And I have no reason to believe that they won't continue to meet these milestones in which they're establishing. So it's very, very promising for sure. They're going to begin developing our peer-to-peer diamond service market, get listed on more exchanges that support our tokenomics, and then start brainstorming more use cases for GDT. Now, I do kind of want to break the news here. I'm fully okay. They gave me permission to do it, and so I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know. In terms of getting listed on more exchanges, they're actually going to be getting listed on Bitmart very, very soon. Bitmart's one that I use. It is my preferred exchange for a lot of these newer cryptos, and I absolutely think that that is going to be a fantastic aspect of it. And I think volume is definitely going to be something that has the potential to grow, as being able to buy it is going to be much, much, much easier, right? And so another thing I'm excited about as well is the fact that once they start to get through Swiftly Swap, or Rising tokens is already in the soft launch, so we're good with that. Swiftly Swap and the Diamond Wallet. I'm excited to see those released, because then they'll be able to put all of that attention into the peer-to-peer diamond service market, which I think is going to kind of be like that big boom moment for Gorilla Diamond, where people really notice the potential here. And so with that, I'm excited to see how all of this does transpire, especially going into the next few months. Now, last but not least, going into the end of the year, they will finish developing the peer-to-peer diamond service market, aim for getting listed on large exchanges such as Binance, which would be absolutely huge, start developing more use cases for GDT, think about expanding Gorilla Diamond Inc. to more markets such as esports, interesting, and then contemplate a Gorilla Diamond Inc. IPO on the NASDAQ and NYSE, which I actually think is a possibility in the future. I think they have the potential to do that in the future if they do continue forward, because they are going to be generating revenue. They're actually going to be a real business. They are taking all of the steps in which they need to in terms of getting lawyers and establishing it as a business, and really taking this from the idea of being just a meme coin to an actual project and an actual crypto. And I think that the potential is truly there. And so with that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go jump in, and we're going to give this thing a new ranking, because I think some things can be updated, and I think that some things that I said back then aren't necessarily as true anymore. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to look and show you guys the original ranking that I did give them, and then you guys can see what we give them now, which is interesting. Let's go ahead. Okay, so in terms of creativity and longevity, I still stand true to that. I do believe that is for sure. I mean, I think it's 9 worthy for sure. I think that there's always room to grow, and I think the things in which they are doing right now, we kind of have seen before. But the idea that they're already how do you say, like, they're already developing some of these things, and the idea in which they're using transactions to also dish out reflections is a fantastic idea. It's super creative, and I do like that, especially considering they were amongst some of the first ones to do it. Longevity, I still stand true to that as well. I think that it's a 9, and I think the only thing that really increases longevity for them at the moment is just the addition of even more use cases. I think that's going to be important. Progress was actually not on the last ranking system, but I do believe that a 9 on progress is for sure. Like, I mean, they're making fantastic steps. They've been doing really good in terms of getting some of these listings, especially a Bitmart listing that will be coming soon. That's a huge step for them, because, getting on there is not that easy. And there's other cryptos on it, but getting on it is just simply not that easy, right? They made great progress, especially in terms of the last month with getting Rising tokens on the soft launch, getting that done. They're already developing some of the other ones, and so having having all of that in the works at one time and making progress like they are making, I think it's 9 worthy, especially in the span of just a few months here. Presentation is one that they're going to get a boost on. So I gave them a 12.5 on presentation because they didn't clearly say, this is what our platforms are, and this is how you can benefit from it. They didn't say like, how do you explain it? Like, oh, whoa, Ruby Rodriguez, what are you on about? So they didn't clearly say, like, this is what we're going to be doing, basically. But one thing we can see is that from there, this was their previous website. And I don't want to, be mean or anything, but the website just wasn't the most appealing ever. But now they got this new website out, which is super immersive, super good. I love how the diamond spins. I just love all of these just immersive aspects about it, especially in terms of how clear everything is. I think that's also a good aspect of presentation, as well as the fact that they do include, exactly how it works in terms of you get transactions, you get reflections from our transactions, plus the transactions that do happen with the token itself. And so overall, I gave them a 12.5 on presentation because I liked all of it, but they were lacking, again, just a visually appealing website on top of explaining the transactional things. And now that they've added that, I for sure think that justifies a move up into our 14 range here. This is a very similar ranking that I gave to Meta Hero for presentation, because I believe that in terms of going into depth and being clear about it, but also demonstrating exactly how it's going to work, as well as having a visually appealing website, I think that's important. And so I think a presentation 14 makes a lot of sense. If we go back, we can see that in terms of overall utility, we gave them a 13 out of 15, and I think that still remains the same, personally speaking. The reason I say that is because there hasn't been the addition or change in terms of utility on how it works, and so it wouldn't really make sense to change that up at all at the moment. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna drop a 13 on that one. And then in terms of security, we gave them a let's jump back up here just so I can show you guys. We gave them an 18 out of 20, and I said the biggest things that would be able to change this at the moment would be the addition of like a big audit, like a CertiK audit or something like that. We have not seen that just yet, and so since we have not seen that just yet, I will maintain at an 18 for our gem ranking system. Right now, if we're talking about comparing this thing to like ADA Cardano or like Ethereum, of course, like the ranking would be a little bit different. But we're ranking these things based off of what we have seen from newer cryptos that are only a few months old, that have only made a certain level of progress. So in terms of security, sure, security could be better. In terms of presentation, sure, it could be better. Or utility, sure, it could be better. But I'm looking at this thing as more of a new crypto because that's the main focus of the series. So with that being said, let's go ahead. I'm going to take this calculator real quick and let's see what this ranking is. So we got 18 plus 9 plus 14 plus 13 plus 18, which puts him at a 72 out of 80, which is like 90%, which is right around exactly what I was expecting. So that puts him, let's see, a 72, okay, and that puts him at an 80%. Oh wait, I think we got that. There we go. Boom, an 80. All right, wait, no, I'm tripping. 90% ranking. Bam. There we go. Alrighty. Okay, so how does that, let's just move this over here. I need to make that space a little bit bigger, but that's a 90% ranking on our established ranking system. So if we do come over, if we check this out, that actually does put them now in third place, which is crazy. And that's why I wanted to revisit it, because they've made so much progress. They made so many improvements, especially with the website and how they explain it and getting on Bitmart and all of these things. Those improvements definitely did change the intrinsic value of the crypto itself. And it only made sense for us to go ahead and move some of these things around. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to take this, boom. We are going to add them in right here. Move this to number 3. Go ahead and take this on out. Boom, boom. And then we're going to bump that thing on up to 4th. There we go. So that is an updated look of how we are actually looking in terms of a ranking system, which is crazy. But I knew, like, after hearing and talking, to some of the team, I knew, I was like, they are they've made some big changes, right? Wait. Okay. Yeah, they made some big changes. So I was like, yeah, let's give this thing a look and let's go back on it, especially with the season finale being tomorrow. And yeah, so let's see. Matt Patinauti says, I want to sneak in a teaser for GDT coming up on August 7th. UFC fighter Ode, the Jamaican sensation Osborne, will be protecting his grill with an official Gorilla Diamond Jamaican themed mouthguard. which is true. That is fact. He's a UFC fighter. He's absolutely fantastic, and he actually got a Gorilla Diamond mouthguard made. So when he knocks this dude down, he smiles at the camera. GDT is going to be right there, which is pretty cool. That's actually pretty sick. So yeah, definitely shout out to them. And yeah, so that's going to be the update there. And so I'm very excited to see now how that does transfer and how we are actually going to see them compete against Peacock Coin, because if you do go ahead and if we look at our winners, that is actually putting our number 2 and our number 3 up against each other, which is pretty cool. So let's go ahead and let's jump into it. Now, on my Twitter, I actually did announce, I was like, we're going over one more crypto before this entire season ends. Drop it in the comment section right now. I want to know what crypto y'all want to look at, and that is actually Leona Coin. It was one that I saw constantly getting comments. I was like, let's go check it out. I briefly went on the website, I checked it out, and things looked pretty cool, and I was like, okay, that looks good. Let's see. So will it make it into the top 5? At this point, it'll be very hard, but you never know. So let's go ahead. I'm actually going to pull up their website here. And then we're going to get this thing going. Let's see. So they have 62,000 followers, joined in June 2020. Let's go to leonacoinswap.com. So Leona Coin Swap is an advanced AMM with features like NFT Marketplace, Lottery, IDO, and many other advanced features. Before we get into that, there I see a few super chats. Let me go ahead and jump into those real quick. Big Belly says, rub some pink panda on that knee, Tyler, and you'll be good to go. Shout out to you. All right. Caesar Gonzalez says, project making wallets are great. By the way, Pink Panda wallet is already out on Android, and this is just the beginning, a milestone towards the DEX. Shout out to Caesar. Shout out to Caesar for sure. Shout out to you, homie. So Leona Coin Swap is an advanced AMM with features like NFT Marketplace, Lottery, IDO, and many other advanced features. We provide user-friendly, efficient, and secure crypto solutions and utilizing blockchain technology. So that's actually pretty interesting. So they actually have a few different aspects of this, which is something that I didn't notice, which is pretty cool. This is what caught my attention. I was like, yeah, sure, let's bring them on the stream, because I didn't want to just put like one of those cryptos that have absolutely no use case. I was like, let's actually bring on something that looks like it may stand a chance, but we'll find out. So in Leona Coin Swap Exchange, you can trade, provide liquidity for your projects and others, buy and sell NFTs, and raise funds for your projects via the IDO IFO model. It's a complete solution for users and traders. There's a 2% auto staking reward that goes to all holders as a yield, and 1% token burn in every single transaction. After 120 mil reach, there will be no additional burning, which is cool. And that, of course, does help with just the longevity of the project itself, of course. So with initial DX offering, initial farming offering, we will raise funds for real use case projects, and it will be extended by our Leo's tokens, which will help projects raise funds and help us grow our token price and ecosystem. I have the hiccups. If you can't tell, I'm hiccuping and I cannot stop. But yeah, so with the IDO IFO, again, with initial DEX offering, initial farming offering, we will raise funds for real use case projects, and it will be extended by our Leo's tokens, which will help projects raise funds and help us grow our token price and ecosystem. Then finally, we will see a decentralized marketplace to neural network adjacent coefficients with advanced DeFi tools and products. Now, one thing I want to say is this website looks really familiar, and I cannot figure out which one it looks similar to. If you know, let me know. So let's see the platforms for for participators and for traders. So they have an open platform for our participators. Each participant have to fill up, that's 2 words, fill up a whitelist form to participate in the public sale with all information given in the state. Max allocation for public sale is $3,000 and minimum allocation is $50, who will be selected and will get mail from our official email, who will give info at leonacoinswap.com and complete instruction to join the public pre-sale. We will execute our public sale via our smart contract. In public sale, we will raise fund via BNB and hard cap around 4.2 million, which is 40% of total tokens, and any remaining tokens will be burned. Shortly, they can participate in the IDO or buy and sell NFTs with Leo's tokens. Okay. For traders, the trader can be trading by swap and add liquidity to any pairs. They can buy or sell NFTs in the NFT marketplace. Also, they can join the lottery to win the jackpot. Leo's holders can join the IDO IFO via Leo's token. Also, they can be staking or farming their tokens via hunting pools to earn a stable income. Okay. CEX version of the Leona Coin Swap shortly, where they can trade ETFs, margin trade, and many others. Traders can earn a stable income from holding our tokens. It will give them an auto 2% yield. With our buyback and burning, the price will continuously go up. So let's see tokens. Okay. Oh, this is pretty much a good bit of everything we need to see. Okay. There's already something I'm not liking. Okay. So 40% are going to be allocated for public sale. 10% for private sale. So this is what we see. 10% reserves, 10% to the founders, 10% liquidity and events. I'm assuming that means like exchange listings or something rather than like actual events or something. 10% marketing and exchange listings, 10% for team and founder, 10% for dev and research. That's a good bit. So 10, 20, 30, about 40%, 10-month lockup, then 0.5% vest per quarter. So the vest per quarter definitely helps out with it, but I would still say that that's a lot, guys. You guys know, like I said earlier in the stream, 15% is where I start to get like a little, like that, like we're starting to get a little bit high. And so 40%, that's a good bit. That's a good bit, especially for like, well, I'm curious because, so liquidity and events is 10%, but exchange listings and marketing. So what are these events? And I also, want to know what the reserve fund is going to be used for. If they already have things allocated for exchange listings, marketing, development, and research, team and founder, like it seems like there's a little overflow here. And so that alone, I would probably say won't get it on the top five if I had to guess. But it's still interesting. I would just say that's still a good bit. 40% is a lot, man. That's a lot. So Softcat 25 mil tokens. I'm seeing if anyone has an answer. Not sure. In time 30th of June. Okay. So let's see what all they've got going on. So project idea preparation, team creation, team discussions and preparation. Okay. Website and token creation, private sale and public sale, PancakeSwap liquidity added, AMM launch, token buyback and burn, CEX exchange and listings. Full functional AMM with additional features, partnership with big projects and more. And then we released 2022 roadmap on January 22nd. Or January 2022. So the roadmap is a little vague. It's a little vague, I'm not gonna lie. That's definitely something that I would like to see be a little bit more in depth. Like we talked about Gorilla Diamonds. And you can kind of see what I mean. It's just kind of like having each step about exactly how they're gonna do it, rather than just saying like AMM launch or token buyback and burn. So I would just like to see a little bit maybe more there. That'd be important. I do like the fact that we can see who's behind the team, and we can check some of these LinkedIn accounts. We have a LinkedIn account for him. Let's see if this was just newly made, 500 plus connections with some experience. Okay, cool. So we can see who's behind the scenes. I think that always helps just in terms of, incentivizing people not to scam you, which would help a little bit counter some of this major amount of the supply that they have, because it's almost half, right? They have control over almost half of it, but I do think that, the 18-month lockup, it's better than 3 months. I give them that. So having a year and a half lock on the reserve fund, a year and a half lock on the team and founder, a year and a half, that definitely shows that they have some long-term perspective on things. But still, that year and a half will come soon, and from there, I think that there is that risk that is associated with it. Of okay, if the crypto's not doing well, or if they're not excited about it anymore, well, what happens after that year and a half is over? That's something I'm interested in seeing how that happens. Okay, so let's jump over then to the white paper and see if there's any other information in which we may have missed. Alrighty. So, introduction. I think we kind of went over all of this. They're kind of just talking about the market itself, complexity, present state of DeFi ecosystem, things we've kind of talked about before. Our solution. Automated market makers model and non-fungible token marketplace. This has helped us build one of the most innovative platforms to allow users to trade digital assets and at the same time giving them full control over their money and investment decisions. Leona CoinSwap is truly decentralized with the most user-friendly, efficient, and secure cryptocurrency solutions leveraging blockchain technology. Going to go over why the BSC, but obviously it's going to be, it's lower fees, a little bit faster and everything like that. Our competitive edge lies on two aspects, namely having built on top of the BSC network, which is something we've seen a good bit before now at this point, and giving our users a wide variety of income opportunities. Building our solution on BSC ensures we extend fast transactions at low fee possible. In the market, our rates can go as low as 1 cent. Further, we have built a user-friendly interface, meaning anyone can access and use our platform, irrespective of technical background. Leona Swap as well allows users to enjoy a high-performance and decentralized trading experience, supported by the automated market maker model, and powered by our native cryptocurrency named Leo's token. Finally, we are building a robust DeFi and NFT ecosystem, which will be significant to presenting investors with a wide range of investment opportunities. Okay, so the ecosystem. So they're going to have a token swap exchange, which is something we see quite often. Then that helps you participate in liquidity pools, which makes sense. Hunting pools. This is where sweet new tokens meet with the Leona Swap community. This feature is by we gotta fix that, guys. This is featured by Leona Swap to foster and contribute to the growth of our ecosystem by tapping into the robust Binance Smart Chain community. Through the hunting pools, projects launched on the BSC network can bootstrap their adoption by playing the role of distributing a portion of their tokens to Leo's token holders. A hunting pool is split into two sections, namely the core and the community. The core section will be initially selected by the Leona Swap team, and the community section will encompass projects that pass a community vote and participate in our governance system. So overall, that makes sense. So there's that kind of helps further incentivize people to want to actually access it and to have the token itself, because then we can see here that they said they can bootstrap their adoption by playing the role of distributing a portion of their tokens to Leo's token holders. So as a Leo's token holder, you then can get access to some of these newer cryptos in which they will verify. So that's pretty cool, and I think that amongst as well the token swap exchange is a pretty cool, that's a pretty cool feature as well. Okay. So how to win. So this is going to be kind of giveaways, lottery, etc. Non-fungible token marketplace. So they have an NFT marketplace. As part of diversifying our product and service offering to industry, we're introducing an NFT marketplace. This, even though not developed at the moment, since it will be introduced later as per our growth plans, will allow users to mint, buy, and sell NFTs, respective tokens, and other listed collectibles in physical form on the platform. Among the planned initial NFT items and tokens to list on the marketplace include games and tasks drawn from the prediction as well as the sports market. For instance, predict if the price of Leos will go up or down. If the chosen prediction is correct, you win some Leos tokens. Our NFT marketplace will also feature digital items such as stock photography to allow users to buy and sell profile images, participate in teams, and customize own names and available NFT options. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. So it looks like they have about a 3% transactional tax, attract a 2% yield with a 1% burn on every single transaction. This way we ensure the development of smart staking approach, IDO implementing measures that will lead to the growth of the token over time. So the total supply is 210 million. The listing price actually is only at 5 cents, which is actually pretty cool. I do like the fact that they've kind of lowered it down. They're not following like that. There's no giveaways. You skip that fast. Hold on. No, I just meant lotteries, like lottery giveaway, it's kind of similar, not necessarily, but kind of similar. Let's see. So, blockchain. Okay. Exchange listings, private sale price, 3 cents, exchange listing price, 5 cents, makes sense. And then there's 8 decimals there. Okay. So cool. So it's not 5 cents, but you guys get the idea here. So the token distribution again. Okay. So it's 50%. So this wasn't one that was actually put into the website. So there's 10% to the risk fund, 10% development and research, 10% advisors, 10% marketing, 10% liquidity. Like that's just a lot, like they have control over a lot of it. And I think that with having that much control, even though there are the locks, people will get a little bit nervous because they're like, well, what happens at the end of that 18 months? There's the vesting and everything, but I just think that much control over the supply, especially when the supply isn't even that much, I don't understand why. I don't understand for what they're trying to do, why they would need so much of the control. And I think just in terms of security and overall longevity, I think that's going to serve an issue there. But I'll definitely keep an eye on it. Or who knows, maybe coming into the second season here, we can, so maybe they explain it. Let's see. Out of the token allocated to the team advisors, it will be locked for a period of 5 years. After that, we shall be running vesting of 20% for each in a period of the next 5 years. Out of the token allocated to the team and advisors, this will be locked for a period of 5 years. But on the website, it said 18 months, didn't it? Team and founder, 18 months, lock up, then 20% vest per year. Okay. Let's see. Aiming for Leonization is also going to launch sometime next month. Okay. The marketing and exchange listing allocation will have 5% used for our marketing activities immediately, while the remaining 5% vested every quarter, with each at 0.25% released for the next 20 quarters. Okay. The allocation to research and development will be locked for 10 months. After, it will be released every quarter at a rate of 0.5%. So that'll be pretty slow. So one thing I will say, it's kind of hard for me on this one because they're going to slowly be releasing it. And so it will be hard, since they are going to be releasing it portion by portion, it will be hard for them to just sell a lot of it at one time unless they let it accumulate over time. So I think that if you are going to have that major of control over the total supply, having a function similar to this one is very important. Very, very, very important. And yeah, so that's kind of it's just not necessarily for me personally, just with with the amount of the total supply which they have. But I do believe that there can be some more established, restored confidence with the idea that they're not just going to unlock all of it at one time and then have control over 50% at one time, which would be destructive if anything happened at all. So interesting. Okay, so this is going to be a bit on the team, the roadmap in which we did check out, and then social media links are going to be there. So overall, I would say that I don't think it's going to be, I don't even really need to go ahead and rank it at this point, because I don't think that it is going to, shout out to Panda Josh. Shout out to you, homie. I don't think that it's gonna not meet enough of the requirements to actually make it onto the winner, the ranking system, because just certain things, like longevity is a bit in question, I would say. Utility is still remotely unclear, and I think security is definitely one that I personally, with having that much control over the total supply, it ain't necessarily my thing, you know what I mean? So yeah, similar to what I said about Altura, I just think that the inherent risk and the amount of risk that comes with it goes up the more of the control which they have. But I do like the idea that it's not going to all be unlocking at one time, for sure. So okay, so that's going to be that one. That's going to be Leona Corn. And that's it, guys. Cyberbullion, what's up, homie? That is it. That is the last crypto that we are going to check out on season 1. I wish I had some type of confetti emote or something right here. Like I can make confetti just fall down. But that was the very last crypto that we are going to look at on season 1 of the Gem Finder series. Can someone smash that like button? Can someone smash that like button? Can we get to 50 likes? Because that is absolutely insane. I'm so excited and sad at the same time. I'm like, man, this is season 1. It was just, we started so early. And, it has died down a bit. Like, the crowd and the volume on these videos has died down a bit. But it is what it is. Like, that's not what you can expect. The excitement within the crypto world, it is falling down a little bit as things are a little bit more consolidated. But just the fact that, just the fact that we've gotten this far and we've looked at so many cryptos, we've identified 4 or 5 scams. Actually, there were 4 or 5. I'm not going to say which ones, because not all of them are confirmed scam, but you could see it. You can kind of see it happening right now, and it's something I'll talk about with Patreon members. But there's a few that I've said on this stream, this is sketchy, this is a scam, and it actually happened to turn out to be. And so I think that's also a great thing that we can do with this series, is just be able to identify, look, this looks sketchy, right? One we went over on here allegedly was a scam, was Trident token, for example. Trident token, they're saying there was some type of scam going on, but when we went over Trident token, I said there's sketchy aspects about this. This is one we definitely need to keep our eye on and make sure that things don't start to get a little bit weird. And then it turned out to be right. And man, that's fantastic. I'm really excited about that. I'm pretty excited to see, someone says, why would any real project dump on their own project when we have 5 years vested period? I'm not saying Leona Corn is going to be a scam. It's just for my criteria. It's kind of the things in which I look for with these different projects. I like to just feel a little bit more secure with a little bit less of the token supply being in the hands of the owners. That's just me. That's literally just me. That's not me saying that there's going to be some scam. Don't get me wrong, okay? But one thing that we were able to do with this series is hopefully save some people money. With a lot of these different projects that did turn out to be scams. You guys know I say 1 in 5 to 1 in 8 tokens probably going to be a scam. Okay, we've gone over probably 90 to 100 tokens on this show, and so you understand that they are going to come around, and there's really not much we can do about it but try to call it out. And there's so many shills, and people are always constantly shilling, and we see people just consistently posting just this crypto, check out this crypto, what do you think about this crypto? And I wanted a place that people could go to and someone just goes look at them, all right, you keep pumping this one, well, let's see what it's actually about, and then we'll put it in the spotlight, and we'll say, all right, does this thing have potential? Does it not? And that's the goal with this one. And I think we've done a pretty remarkable job in this first season. And I hope you guys are excited. So just a little preview of tomorrow. Okay. So we're going to have Gorilla Diamond and Peacock Coin going head to head. The way in which we're going to do it is we are going to, if you can see, I'm going to remove all of this. Creativity, longevity, progress, presentation, utility, security. We're taking all those numbers away, and we're going to pick which one wins. So Gorilla Diamond and Peacock Coin will go head to head and say, which one wins in creativity? Which one wins in longevity? Which one wins in progress? Which one wins in presentation, utility, and security? And the winner that gets at least 4 of the 6 is going to be the one that moves on into the semifinals, and then they will compete against Fusion Chain and Pink Panda. That winner will then compete against this winner. They will compete all together to then take on our #1 placeholder, which is Meta Hero, with received a 92.5% ranking. So I hope you guys are excited. I hope you guys are very, very pumped for tomorrow. All of you who support these projects, Meta Hero, Peacock Coin, Gorilla Diamond, Fusion Chain, Pink Panda, put the links in those groups. Make sure people are here to check it out to see how their project does, because this is the season finale, and I don't know when the second season will start. It may be like a month, it may be a few weeks, but we're definitely going to take some time. I don't want to keep... I kind of feel like I'm oversaturating my channel a little bit by doing daily live streams, and I don't want you guys to get burnt out. You're probably tired of seeing me already, but too tired of seeing these. So I definitely want to give it some time, and so this is going to be the last one for a while. So come by, come check it out, and I hope you guys are excited. But with that being said, guys, that is going to be about it for today's video, and I hope you guys all did enjoy. I'll see you next time. Peace.